Mill says that what an expression denotes is what it applies to in the world. The denotation of a word like umbrella denotes all things properly called an umbrella. It is like semantic reference. Terms also connote by having attributes and properties possessed by the things they denote. For example, the term human denotes an indefinite number of people who are people by virtue of the fact that they possess certain attributes. He also says proper names, unlike nicknames, do not have connotations. He finally says that propositions are the objects of belief as well as that which is expressed in a sentence. Frege's idea of sense and reference is similar to Mill's idea of denotation and connotation. Sense is the mode of presentation of its referent. It is the many ways of making a reference. Propositions are what is in an expression and in a sentence, and is what a person believes to be true. The meaning of a sentence is determined by the meaning of its parts, which he calls compositionality. This is able to explain novel sentences and idioms. It has two levels, sense and reference. A sentence does not refer to its proposition, as the speaker could be thinking of something else than they expressed by having false knowledge. For example, a person can utter, "The morning star is a body illuminated by the sun," and not know they were really referring to the evening star, which is scientifically a separate object. Frege calls this way of referencing the law of substitutivity. It is based on its truth value as expressed in the sense. He adds here, and this reverses Mill, that empty noun phrases like city of gold have no reference but have an accepted sense. This means that in order to understand the meaning of a sentence, it requires both reference and primarily sense. Frege does say that this does not include self-referential quotes like Bob Dylan changed his name to Bob Dylan, or referential opacity of attitude of verb propositions where knowing and belief intersect. Frege holds that all words contribute to sentence meaning by compositionality, so it follows that a proper name must have a sense or connotation as well, much like definite descriptions. This, however, requires that a person carry the synonymous information associated to a name. For example, A. Aristotle was born in Stygira. B. The teacher of Alexander the Great, who was born in Stygira, was born in Stygira. While B may be analytic and so known a priori, A is not, and this casts doubt on Frege's idea of proper names. Russell, partly in response to Frege, used predicate logic to analyze denotation and show that sense or connotation was not necessary to knowledge. He focused on quantificational noun phrases. Quantificational sentences like "every boy deserves fudge" has by its universal quantifier every a relation that does not require acquaintance or sense with the properties "good boys" and "deserving fudge," but it gives definition anyway, and thus understanding by that defining relation. An indefinite article an is historically considered a quantificational expression one as well, and so it covers indefinite descriptions. A dog barked. The a is given the instance or joining relation of the two properties dog and bark. The thrust of his argument came when he treated the article the as a quantificational determiner. The King of France is bald. The sentence assumes existence of the entity. The states the entity is singular and unique, and the following properties King of France and is bald are understood by the relation defined by the. He tackled the need for description as well as empty noun phrases with this by exercising the law of the excluded middle, which states that something is or is not. In a sentence like, George IV wanted to know whether Scott was the author of Waverley, Frege would have appealed to propositional attitude context, which here does not coincide. Russell did not agree with this analysis. He said that the author of Waverley, taken by itself, had no constituent, as it was embedded in a sentence, and as such is a secondary occurrence, being a property to and of the whole sentence, and a primary occurrence in that. This creates an ambiguity when considering the two scopes. A proper name, like Socrates, is part of a singular primary propositional expression. All descriptions are secondary occurrences of the single proposition, so it neither lacks connotation nor has a sense.